The latest addition to my HO scale Union Pacific Heritage fleet is the Dome Diner Colorado Eagle. The prototype car, numbered 8004, was built by American Car and Foundry in 1955 for the Union Pacific. Like many sister cars, it was sold after scheduled passenger service ended on the railroad in 1971. The car made its way through several owners before UP brought the car back to home rails in 1993, receiving the name Colorado Eagle. As with the Missouri River Eagle, previous owners removed the kitchen portion, which gives both cars the same seating arrangement. 80 guests are surrounded by a formal dining experience, 32 with a very fine view in the dome, 48 below surrounded by a rich wood interior and large windows. Meals are provided from an adjacent car with a kitchen. This prototype started with a Walthers City Dome Diner. The current window configuration is different from the original prototype sides the Walthers car portrays. I removed the sides and originally intended on cutting new sides from styrene. By the time I got around to working on this car, Union Station Products came out with many of the car sides for the current Heritage Fleet cars, including the correct version of the Colorado Eagle. Shown here are the parts that come with the Union Station Products car side kit. You have the styrene sides, the styrene strips, and at the bottom the acrylic backing and window glazing. To build the new car sides, I began by lightly sanding the acrylic backing to remove the burrs from the laser cutting, then glued on the styrene pieces to the acrylic. The Union Station kit comes with thin styrene strips that need to be glued onto the grooves etched above and below the windows the full length of the car. This is the most difficult part of building the car sides. I used a fine tip dispenser to lay a very thin bead of CA in the groove, then slid a metal straight edge into position and laid the end of the styrene strip down at the edge and slowly lowered the remainder of the strip down in a rolling motion, keeping the strip resting next to the straight edge. Here is an example of finished car sides, both front and back. These particular sides are for Power Car 2066. The next step is to check the fit of the new sides with the Walthers core and roof. Portions of the acrylic had to be removed to allow the roof latches of the Walthers roof to engage properly. Also, portions of the Walthers core have to be removed to allow the sides to fit properly, as well as the window glazing that has to be glued in after the car sides are painted and glued to the Walthers core. In this example of Power Car 2066, I have started removing some of the core material on the Walthers car. There's yet more material to be remained, as evidenced by the outlines of the black Sharpie lines. After verifying the new sides fit correctly, I drilled holes for the grab irons, then painted the sides armor yellow. With the sides removed, the remaining core was prepped for the new sides. All the underneath details were removed and a slot cut in the center seal. The interior seats and partitions were removed or ground down with a Dremel. After all the work on the core was completed, the sides were finally glued to the core. The remainder of the work follows previous cars I have completed in making the underside details, painting, decaling, and sealing. The prototype car does have marker lights on both ends, so I drilled holes in appropriate locations to house red LEDs. The window pieces were fit and glued in place, then covered with window tint. Next, I installed the tube diaphragms, weights, speaker enclosure over the slot in the bottom of the car. Nearly completed, a Soundtraxx Sound Car decoder and speaker were installed and wired to the LEDs. The roof was installed. A final coat of gloss lacquer completed the 18th car in my model version of UP's Heritage Fleet. As hinted at earlier, my 19th car is already underway, which is Power Car 2066. Be sure to subscribe to my channel to see the latest on my projects, and as always, thanks for watching.